Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to English with Knock Me. I am so incredibly happy that you're here with us today. If you're a returning listener, welcome home. And if this is your first time, I'm Diva, and I am thrilled you found us. It is a crisp, bright, beautiful day here in New York City. The sun is reflecting off the glass of the skyscrapers, and I've got my favorite scarf on. It's just one of those days that makes you want to stop and appreciate the little things. How are you doing today, Helen?
I'm doing fantastic, Eva. Thanks for asking. New York in the fall is truly something special, isn't it? I was just looking out the studio window before we started, watching the yellow leaves dance around in the wind. And of course, I've got my trusty mug of hot peppermint tea right here. It's definitely a cozy day for learning something new. How about you? Are you feeling energized?
Oh, absolutely. I'm feeling great, but I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little nostalgic too. I actually had a very New York kind of morning. I walked past Central Park on my way to the studio. I stopped by that cute little bodega on Fifth Avenue for my usual bagel with cream cheese, and I saw so many people rushing to work. It really reminded me of how quickly time passes. You know, like poof, yesterday is already gone. 1 minute it's today, and the next it's already the past.
That is the perfect transition because speaking of gone, that is exactly what we are focusing on today. We're going to master the past tense. We're going to talk about everything that happened before right now, whether it was 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. We're going to give you the keys to unlock your storytelling ability.
Yes, we're going to cover the regular verbs, those tricky irregular troublemakers, which I know can be a headache for some of you, how to ask questions without getting confused, and how to tell a story so you sound like a pro. It's honestly one of the most essential skills for a beginner. If you can talk about your yesterday, you can talk about your life, your childhood, your trips, everything.
It's the foundation of conversation. But before we jump into our time machine, a quick reminder. If you're enjoying these conversations, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend who is also learning English. It helps our community grow, and it helps other learners find us.
And we love reading your comments, so don't be shy. Let us know where you are listening from, whether you're in a cozy cafe in Hanoi, a busy office in Tokyo, or sitting on the subway right here in NYC. We want to hear from you. Leave a comment and say hi. Okay, Helen, let's set the stage. When we talk about our daily routine, what we do every single day, we use the present tense, like I drink coffee every morning or I take the subway to work.
Exactly. That's our baseline. That's the present. But when we want to talk about before now, yesterday, last night, last week, that time is finished. The action is done. It's completed. So the verb needs to change its clothes. It needs a past tense outfit.
I love that imagery, a past tense outfit. It makes it sound much less scary. So for most verbs, the outfit is actually really simple, right? It's almost like a uniform.
It is. We call these regular verbs. For the vast majority of verbs in English, we just add two letters to the end, ed. It's like a uniform. You put it on and everyone knows you're talking about the past.
Ed. It's the magic suffix. Think about the verb walk. Every day I walk to the corner store. Yesterday I walked to the corner store.
Walked. It's a simple sound, but it opens the door to so much storytelling. Let's practice a few together to show our listeners the pattern. Eva, give me a verb and let's turn it into the past.
How about cook? Everyone loves talking about food.
Cooked. Yesterday, I cooked dinner for my family.
Nice. What about clean? I cleaned my room yesterday, finally.
Cleaned. See? I cleaned my apartment on Sunday. It's so satisfying to say, isn't it?
It really is. How about watch? I watched a really cool documentary last night about space.
Watched. Perfect. And play. My nephew loves this one.
Played. I played tennis with my friend in the park.
You see? The pattern is everywhere. Walk, walked. Cook, cooked. Clean, cleaned. Watch, watched. Play, played. Just add ed. It's consistent like the sunrise in the morning. It never fails you.
I love consistency. Now, Helen, listeners usually ask me, what happens if the verb already ends in E? Do I add another E? Like live?
Ah, great question. That's a common confusion. If the verb ends in E, like live or dance, we don't add another E. That would look weird, right? Live-eed? No, we just add a D.
Oh, right. So dance becomes danced. I danced all night at the party.
Precisely. Live becomes lived. I lived in London for 3 years before moving to New York.
That clears up a lot. Now, what about those verbs that end in Y with a consummate before it, like study? I studied for hours for my exam.
Ah, the Y rule. This is a bit tricky, but easy to learn. We change the Y to I and then add ED. So study becomes studied.
Studied, studied. It looks different, but it sounds the same. That's a good one to keep in mind.
Okay, Helen, I have to be a bit of a teacher here. The spelling is easy, but sometimes the pronunciation of that ED can be a little confusing for our listeners. Sometimes I hear people saying walked, like it has two syllables, and I want to help them sound more natural.
Good catch, Eva. It's true. Even though it's always spelled ED, it doesn't always sound like ed. It actually has 3 different sounds depending on the letter before it.
Oh, three? Tell me more. I think this is where many learners get nervous. They're afraid of saying it wrong.
Yes, sometimes it sounds like a T, sometimes a D, and sometimes a new syllable, id.
That sounds like a lot of rules. Don't scare our listeners. Can we simplify it? Let's break it down so it feels like music rather than math.
Don't worry, we don't need to memorize the rules, just the rhythm. Listen to walked. It ends in a K sound. When the verb is sharp, like K, P, S, or SH, the ED sounds like a crisp T. Walked.
Walked. Oh, I hear it. It's a soft T sound, not walked, but walked. It's very short, like a flick of the tongue.
Exactly. Now try cleaned. The end sound is a vocal sound. It vibrates in your throat, so the ED sounds like D. Cleaned.
Cleaned. Yes, that's different. It's softer. It really vibrates in your throat. It feels deeper.
And then the third one. This is the only time you actually say id. If the verb ends in a T or D sound, like visit, we can't just add a T or D without a vowel, or it sounds like a tongue twister. So we add an extra syllable, id. Visited.
Visited. I get it. It's an extra heartbeat. Viz, it, ed. That makes perfect sense. So want becomes wanted. Need becomes needed.
You nailed it. You don't need to think about it while you're talking. Your mouth will naturally do it after you say these words out loud a few times. Don't stress about being perfect. Just focus on being clear. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes.
Helen, before we move to the irregular verbs, we have to talk about to be. It's the most common verb in the English language, and it's also the most irregular. It's the king of grammar.
You are so right. We can't use ed with am, is, or are. They have their own special past tense forms.
So if I say I am at the coffee shop today, how do I say that for yesterday?
We change am and is to was. I was at the coffee shop yesterday.
And what about are, like we are at home right now?
For are, we use were. We were at home last night.
That's really important. It's not we was, right? I hear that mistake a lot.
Please, listeners, avoid we was. It's we were, you were, they were.
Let's practice. It is cold today. Yesterday?
It was cold yesterday.
They are happy. Yesterday?
They were happy yesterday.
This is the foundation of everything. If you master was and were, you're already ahead of the game. It's about states, locations, and feelings. I was tired, she was busy, they were excited. Okay, Helen, we've got the regular verbs and was were down, but what about the ones that don't follow the rules? The ones that change their outfit completely? You know, the ones that make learners say, why English, why?
Ah, the irregular verbs.
I call them the troublemakers because they don't add ed, they change their form entirely. You can't just add a suffix, you have to memorize their specific past tense form. It's like learning a new vocabulary word.
I know some of these, like go. I don't say goed, do I?
No, definitely not. We say went. I went to the store yesterday.
Right, went. That's so different from go. Are there many of these?
There are quite a few, but we use the same ones over and over again. Let's do a verb marathon. I'll group them by sound patterns to make it easier for our listeners.
Oh, I love patterns. Grouping them makes them so much easier to memorize. It's like sorting your socks by color.
Exactly. Let's look at the O vowel pattern. Wake becomes woke. Take becomes took. Break becomes broke.
Wake, woke, take, took, break, broke. That's very musical.
Now the I to A pattern. Sing becomes sang. Ring becomes rang. Drink becomes drank.
Sing, sang, drink, drank. I feel like I'm learning a chant.
And the E to E pattern. Sleep becomes slept. Keep becomes kept. Feel becomes felt.
Sleep, slept, keep, kept, feel, felt. This is fantastic, Helen. It's like a puzzle you solve to tell your story.
Let's do a quick lightning round to test our listeners. Present tense, then past. Ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, eat.
Eat, ate. I ate lunch at 1 p.m.
Number 2, have.
Had. I had a meeting this morning.
Number 3, make.
Made. I made my bed.
Number 4, get.
Got. I got home late.
Number 5, buy.
Bought. I bought a coffee.
Number 6, say.
Said. He said hello.
Number 7, see.
Saw. I saw a movie.
You're doing it perfectly. Remember, there are no shortcuts with these. You just have to use them.
Helen, I have a question. Everyone always struggles with asking questions in the past. Like if I want to ask, did you went to the store? Is that correct?
Eva, that is the most common mistake. Listeners, please pay attention. Never say, did you went?
Oh, why not?
Because did is already in the past. It's like a past tense magnet. It sucks the past tense right out of the verb. So if you say did, the verb must stay in its base form.
So, did you go?
Exactly. Did you go? Did you eat? Did you sleep?
Oh, that makes so much sense. Did does the heavy lifting so the main verb can just relax.
Exactly. Let's practice. Eva, ask me about my day.
Okay, did you drink coffee today?
Yes, I did. I drank a huge cup of coffee. Notice I said drank in the answer, but drink in the question?
Got it. Did you buy a bagel?
Yes, I bought a sesame bagel. It was delicious.
Did you cook dinner?
No, I didn't. I didn't cook. I ordered pizza.
Perfect. And this also works for negatives, right? I didn't cook, not I didn't cooked.
Exactly. Didn't is the same as did. It pulls the verb back to the present form.
Okay, Helen, let's put it all together. I want to tell a story about a busy Saturday, but I want to build it with you. Can we take turns?
That sounds like a great exercise. Let's do it. I'll start.
Okay, go.
Last Saturday, I woke up at 8 a.m. because my neighbor played music really loudly.
That's annoying. So I got out of bed and went to the kitchen to make some strong coffee.
While I drank my coffee, I checked my emails and saw that I had a lot of work to do.
Oh no! But then I took a break, walked to the park, and breathed in some fresh air.
That helped. After the park, I bought some fresh groceries and cooked a big, healthy lunch.
And then, in the evening, I watched a movie, read a few chapters of my book, and went to bed early.
That sounds like a perfect Saturday. Did you notice, listeners? Every single sentence was in the past tense. Woke, played, got, went, drank, checked, saw, took, walked, breathed, helped, bought, cooked, watched, read, went.
It's so satisfying to connect them all together. It's like building a bridge from the past to the present. Helen, do you have one last pro tip for our learners? Sometimes they tell me, I know the grammar, but I forget to use it when I speak.
That's a common feeling.
My tip is the yesterday journal. Before you go to sleep, write down just 3 sentences about your day. Today, I did X. I didn't do Y. I felt Z. If you do this every night for 1 week, you will stop making mistakes.
I love that. A yesterday journal. It's a great way to build the habit.
And don't worry if you forget an irregular verb. Just keep speaking. Communication is more important than perfection.
Exactly. Practice makes progress. We have a challenge for all of you listening today. Leave a comment below. What is one thing you did yesterday? Try to use a past tense verb in your sentence. We promise to read them and give you a heart.
We can't wait to read your stories. It's always the best part of our week.
We've covered so much today. Regular verbs, irregular verbs, pronunciation, the did you trap, and storytelling. You guys are going to be past tense masters in no time.
Thank you so much for joining us, Eva. And thank you, everyone, for listening to English with Nukmai.
Until next time, keep practicing and have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.